Hi, I am AK. So after the wait as long as the long night, we finally have a proper Game of Thrones Season 8 trailer in which we see so much stuff happening. And in this video, I'll do the Game of Thrones Season 8 trailer breakdown, scene by scene. And if you like this video in the end, consider subscribing. So let's get started.
I know death. He's got many faces. I look forward to seeing this one.
The first scene is the most surprising one for me because Arya Stark, who now is a fearless trained assassin, looks very scared. She's wounded, has blood on her face and is running away from someone. Now, why would she run away from anyone when she easily matched Brienne? And if you say a White Walker, then in the next scene, we hear her say that she is ready to face the White Walkers and she's not a coward, that she'll run instead of fighting, especially when she already has a Valyrian steel handy. Now some people are saying she's running away from someone whom she knows and has become a White after the Night King entered Winterfell. Well, some fans are hinting at her mother, Catelyn Stark, but it could also be the faceless men hunting her down because she fled away. Or maybe it is the Night King himself, otherwise she has no reason to be scared of anyone. Next we see Sir Davos preparing the army, and then Varys along with some ladies hiding in the crypts from the fight going on outside. Seems like Gilly along with Little Sam is also in here. Along with these scenes, we hear Arya's voice in the background. She says she knows death and it has many faces, and she looks forward to meeting the new face of death, which is the army of the dead. Moving on.
Everything you did brought you where you are now. Where you belong. Home.
After that we see Golden Company sailing towards King's Landing. In the previous season, we learned that Euron Greyjoy did not run away but was sent by Cersei to hire Golden Company. Now Golden Company are one of the finest fighting forces in the world and they are known for never breaking their contract. But in the books, they were formed by the exiles from Westeros after the first Blackfire Rebellion, led by a Targaryen bastard, Daemon Blackfire, who claimed the throne against the legit Targaryens, who then ruled the Seven Kingdoms. There's a lot more history to the Golden Company that I might share in some other video, but for the show, it is more than enough. I guess they're probably showing Golden Company as any other sellswords. Not sure if they'll touch any other aspect of them belonging to the families of Targaryen bastards. If they do, that could become a reason for them to break their contract that they never do and deny going against the only two Targaryens left. After that we see Tormund and Beric. We probably knew they were going to be alive after the attack by Night King, and it is good to see them. They are one of the few people who have faced the White Walkers. After that we hear Bran in the background saying everything you did brought you where you are now, where you belong, home. Sounds like he's talking to Jon after unveiling to him about Jon being a Targaryen. Then we also see Bran and Sam together. Maybe they'll reveal everything to Jon together. Then we see Cersei smiling as Qyburn seems to deliver a message, most probably about the arrival of the Golden Company. Next we see Jon and Daenerys riding side by side, preparing for the biggest battle. Moving on.
They're coming. Our enemy doesn't tire. Doesn't stop. Doesn't feel.
Sansa in this scene looks amazed by the dragons rather than being scared. Looks like it isn't from her first sight of them. Remember Jon seeing them for the first time? Next we see Jon and Daenerys in the crypt and also Jon's voice in the background educating all the people in Winterfell about White Walkers. They don't tire, stop or feel anything at all. And during his voiceover, we get glimpses of more characters. Gendry doing what he does the best, creating weapons from the dragon glass. Ser Jorah Mormont lining outside the walls of Winterfell. And Grey Worm, leader of the Unsullied, and Missandei expressing their feelings because they know they might not get a chance after this. Next we see a glimpse of what looks like Brienne and then Jaime after that. Looks like they're fighting together against the army of the dead. It will be a lot of fun to see them fight side by side together. Moving on. In this scene we see Cersei and Golden Company's leader discussing their terms, and in the next scene she is in her room but looks broken. Maybe the prophecy has actually come true and Cersei lost her child before he or she was born, making the prophecy of the witch come true that she will only have 3 kids. After that we see the dragons flying to Winterfell and the people look scared while staring them up in the sky because they have seen the dragons for the first time in their life. Whereas Arya, though amazed, doesn't look afraid. So now you can guess what could scare and make her run like she did in the first scene of the trailer. Moving on.
I promise to fight for the living. I intend to keep that promise.
We see Jon in the woods where Ned and Catelyn used to sit and worship the old gods and the new. In the background we hear Jaime trying to convince Starks and Daenerys that he's there to fight only against the dead, keeping all their differences aside. And this is going to be really interesting because it was Jaime who started all of this, who started Game of Thrones. He pushed Bran from the window in the first episode of Game of Thrones. So him meeting Bran in season 8 is one of the most awaited scenes for me. Also we see the mountain with blood on his face and fire all around him. As we all know, he's scared of fire. It will be interesting to see how he fights a battle where fire is the only chance of winning. And after that, what looks like the moment for which a lot of fans are desperately waiting for. Jon riding a dragon alongside Dany. They didn't spoil the scene completely, but I believe this will definitely happen. After that we see another scene from the battle where Arya is fighting and showing her skills. Well, Jon will be so proud to see her in action. Next we see Dany and Tyrion for a brief moment. And he still looks concerned in the same way as he was in the last episode of Game of Thrones. Moving on. In this end scene, we see all the characters along with the army lined up for the final epic battle that we have been waiting for a long time. And then steps the White Walkers. So the trailer was full of action and was very tightly packed. It was presented beautifully without giving away too much about the plot or amazing scenes. And after this Game of Thrones Season 8 trailer, it's going to be very hard to wait for April 14. Till then, share with me in the comments about who do you think Arya is running away from. Mention your thoughts and let's prepare ourselves for the final season by talking about all the possible theories. Consider subscribing if you enjoyed this video and don't forget to like it. Until the next time, thank you so much for watching. See you soon.